Hi again then guys, and welcome to the 51st episode of one of my oldest series. Now, I teased of course in December that this series will be coming back in January, and it will be. From today to Friday of this week, we'll be revisiting the D.A.R.C series for 5 special episodes. From Saturday onwards, we'll be returning to the normal review series, so this is just kind of a special, a throwback, if you will, for those who have been on the channel a bit longer, and I know that the D.A.R.C series was loved by a lot of people, so why not revisit it? Now, the 5 cars that I've selected for the series are in a similar vein to the cars which are already here. For any who are unfamiliar with the D.A.R.C series, it stands for Does Anyone Really Care? And the series is basically an appreciation series for vehicles which are very easily overlooked and almost 100% underestimated by most people on Gran Turismo. These are cars which are very rarely used, very easy to overlook in dealerships, but are not just overlooked, because some cars you can understand why they're overlooked, but these are overlooked cars which are actually really good. Some cases better than the more mainstream options. And for this 51st episode, we are visiting a car which certainly is unique, very oddball, and hardly ever used by most people on Gran Turismo. In the entire time that I've played GT6, I don't think I've ever seen anyone else use this car. It's the DeLorean. The updated DeLorean. It looks pretty much exactly the same visually, but it has a bit more power, which was released for the fans. Now, DMC was known, Mr. DeLorean, with his drugs fiasco, etc., as having an interesting history. The DeLorean itself had a rocky history, famous because of primarily Back to the Future, and probably one of the most famous cars in the world due to that. But still not a hugely popular choice of track car, and you can understand why. It's easy to consider the DeLorean as being a bit of a, not a poser's car, but that kind of thing. A car which is all looks with no actual substance. It's powered by a popular engine, a 2.8 litre engine, which is also used in the Volvo 262C, which is an ultra-rare Bertone designed Volvo coupe, and also some of the Alpine Renault sports models. So, a well-used engine, but not exactly on the level of a VTEC or a Skyline engine in terms of how much respect it gets. However, on the game, this engine is remarkably responsive to tuning. It produces, with the aid of a turbo, 508 horsepower. That's pretty good. It also puts out 422 foot-pounds of torque. And as far as sheer spec goes, that's a really good start for a car like this. As far as weight, you'd probably expect it to be okay, because it's not a track day special, it's not some high performance exotic, so there's no real need for the car to be that lightweight. It's just a normal car, in effect, with a nice looking body. But it actually is ultra light. It only weighs 1,054 kilos, which for its size and for its engine is very impressive. Now, as far as performance, that could just be the best thing about the DeLorean, because what this car can do, compared to the spec that it runs with, is remarkable. The top speed is around 240 miles per hour under its own power, and when I did the top speed tune for this car, that shocked me, because I did not expect it to be that quick. I was expecting maybe 210, 220 at best. This car is quicker than the Honda NSX Type R. That's pretty impressive. Now, it does have more power than the NSX, but still, you wouldn't really expect a DeLorean to outrun an NSX on Gran Turismo. But it can. Another reason why the car is unique is the body. Now, this doesn't really have much relevance on the game, but it has a stainless steel body, which, as you can see, you can paint on Gran Turismo, but that's a very interesting feature. Like I said, it doesn't really matter in the broad scheme of things on the game, but it's another thing that makes the car unique. Another thing that makes the car relatively exclusive on Gran Turismo is the drivetrain layout. Rear engine, rear-wheel drive. There are very few of those on Gran Turismo, most notably the Beetles and the roofs. Apart from that, there aren't really that many strong versions. The DeLorean, though, is a great car to have in that category, because it may not be as quick as some of the roofs, but I would say it actually handles better than pretty much all of the roofs. In fact, I would say the DeLorean may well be the best handling rear-engine, rear-wheel drive car in the game. Now, in the grand scheme of things, that's not saying much, but it really is a shockingly good handling car. And if you haven't tried the DeLorean, I would actually definitely recommend it. Now, the biggest downside is the price, and I'm not really sure why it costs so much. 525,000 credits is frankly a ridiculous price for a DeLorean. This isn't a classic car anymore, it's the updated version. It's not the movie version from Back to the Future, so why does it cost so much? It's stupid. It's not even a premium model. So is the car worth that price? No, of course not. But would I recommend buying it? Well, yes, I still would, because complaining about the price doesn't do anything to change it. So the real question of importance is, should you buy it anyway? And I would say yes, because in the rear-wheel drive, or rear-engine rear-wheel drive specifically, category on the game, it's a brilliant alternative to the roofs, in some cases quicker than some of them, such as the 3400S. And even apart from the rear-engine rear-wheel drive category, as an all-round PP racer, it's a great alternative to some of the more obvious choices. Extremely quick in a straight line, and surprisingly good handling. So you may just want to give the DeLorean a chance to shine. If you haven't bought it yet, I would definitely recommend it. And that's it for this episode, so I'll see you guys next time, and as always, thanks for watching.